Okay guys, welcome to my statistics video of professional Counter-Strike games. In this video we're going to be looking at DreamHack Stockholm. This occurred on the 22nd to the 26th of September 2015. And the prize was a qualifier for the DreamHack Cluj-Napoca Major. 16 teams took part in this tournament, 8 qualified. The teams that qualified are Cloud9, Counterlogic Gaming, Mouse Sports, Titan, Dignitas, Flipside Tactics, Team Liquid, and Vexed Gaming. The teams that played but did not qualify was Immunity, Copenhagen Wolves, LA Renegades, Hellraisers, Rocat, Lounge Gaming, Winter Fox, and Skyred. So first we're going to look at the rounds played on each map. So this tournament every map was played. Multiple times was played on each map. However, Dust 2, as you can see here, and Cache were the most played maps, with Cobblestone getting a decent amount, the last 3 being least played. So now we're going to look at the side bias on each map. So Inferno, T-side 8-7, Mirage, T-side 8-7, Dust 2, CT-side 8-7, Overpass 8-7 CT-side, Cobblestone T-side 8-7, Cache T-side 9-6, and Train 8-7 T-side. So overall, the maps were more T-sided than they were CT-sided, which is an interesting point when you compare the M4A1 nerf that took part before DreamHack London. However, some maps are still quite CT-sided, such as Overpass, but overall it's relatively even, with most being 8-7 and only one 9-6. Okay, now we're going to look at pistol round bias on each map. So Inferno, T's won the most, Mirage, T's won the most, Dust 2, CT's won the most, Overpass, CT's, Cobblestone, it was even, Cache, CT's won the most, and Train, it was even. So overall, CT's won more pistol rounds than the terrorists did. As you can see here, Dust 2, Overpass, and Cache. But on Infernal Mirage, the T's won more. This could suggest the reasoning why these maps were more T-biased. Now let's look at the first buy round on each map. So Inferno, the first buy round was won by the T's more often. Mirage, the same. Dust 2 is actually the T's. Overpass, it was even. Cobblestone, it was even. Cache, it was the CT's. And Train, it was the T's. So in this case, most of the first buy rounds were won by the terrorists, about 55%. So this suggests that the T buy rounds are actually easier to get than the CT buy rounds. So that could be a factor while maps are in general more T-sided now. So now we're going to look at the side bias and teams. So these are the teams that qualified for the major, or the teams that finished top 8 in this tournament. So Cloud9 was above 50% on both sides, same with COG. Same with Mouse Sports, same with Titan. Dignitas faltered on the CT side but good on their T's. Flip side above 50% on both. Liquid was same as Dignitas, faltered on CT side. Vex Gaming actually was less than 50%, so they would be classified as probably the weakest team that qualified. However, they still qualified. So here, some teams like Dignitas and Liquid have poorer CT sides compared to their T sides. But Titan and Mouse Sports have pretty strong CT sides. One thing to note out of this is that only 2 of the top teams have better CT sides than T sides. So now we'll look at the teams that didn't qualify. So Immunity had pretty close, but below 50%. Same with Copenhagen Wolves. Renegades had a strong T side, poor CT side. Hellraisers was above 50 on all. Rocat, Lounge Gaming was below 50, Winter Fox was below 50, and Sky was below 50. So a few things to note here is Renegades had a dismal CT side performance with only 33% of their rounds won on CT side. Their T side was actually quite decent, being up there with the top 8 teams, but their CT side is what let them down. Hellraisers was actually probably the best team that didn't qualify, with the most amount of rounds wins on their sides, both T and CT, compared to some of the teams that did qualify. And another thing to notice is, as you get lower in the team, so Rocat, Lounge, Winter Fox, and Skyred, they all significantly had better CT sides than they had T sides. This could suggest that teams that are less well prepared can falter on their T sides more often than their CT sides. The CT sides you can fix up easier. Now we're going to look at pistol rounds on each team. So the teams that qualified, Cloud9, 75% of their pistol round wins. CLG, above 50. Mousesports, 50 or above. Titan, good T side, bad CT side. Dignitas, not so good overall. Flip side, only 50% of CT side. Liquid, below 50 on both. Vex was above 50 CT side. So I think to notice here, the top 4 teams, so Cloud9, CLG, Mousesports and Titan, they were all above 75% on one of their pistol rounds. However, Titan had a really poor CT pistol round ratio, with only 20% of their rounds won. And the teams that were below these, so the teams that were 5 to 8, actually had less than 50% on overall pistol round wins, with Vex being the only one that broke it on their CT side. So this suggests that pistol rounds are actually easier to get for lower teams compared to the overall game. So now if we look at the lower teams, so Immunity had really good pistol rounds. Copenhagen Wolves, good CT, bad T. Renegades, good CT, bad T. Hellraisers was overall pretty good. Rocat was poor. Lounge Gaming, poor. Winter Fox was good CT, but they didn't get a single T. And Skyred was okay T, didn't get much CT. So one thing to note here is your teams from 9 to 11. So Immunity, Copenhagen Wolves, Renegades, and Hellraisers. They had overall decent pistol rounds, except for some of the T rounds, apart from Hellraisers. So Immunity's pistol rounds were pretty good. Copenhagen Wolves and Renegades, there was only like 42%. One thing to note is with Renegades is their CT pistol rounds didn't let them down. Their CT gun rounds let them down on their CT sides. Since their CT sides were so poor, they still managed to get the pistol round most often. And another thing to note is the least ranked teams, so 12 to 16, Rocat, Lounge Gaming, Winter Fox, and Skyred, they either didn't get a single pistol round on the T side, or they overall didn't get very many pistol rounds. So that's something maybe they could work on. Now if we look at the first buy round in the higher ranking teams, Cloud9, 100% T side, 50% CT side. Okay, CLG had a poor performance here. Mousesports is the opposite to Cloud9, 100% CT side. Titan, poor performance. Dignitas, not a very good performance. Flip side, as good as Cloud9 were. Liquid were really good, and Vex was decent here. So I think to notice here, CLG actually had really poor first buy rounds. 40% CT side, 20% T side. So maybe that's something they could work on. Titan, 40% each side, not very good. Dignitas, 55%, 38%, not so good. The ones that are good here would be Liquid, Flipside, Cloud9, and Mousesports, who either had 100% or had over 50% on both. So that's something that they can take away that they did well at. So we look at the teams that didn't qualify. Let's see, maybe we can find some problems here. Immunity, okay. Copenhagen Wolves, bad CT. Renegades, bad both. Hellraisers, pretty decent. Rocat, bad CT. Lounge Gaming, bad both. Winter Fox, terrible both. Skyred, good CT, bad T. So if you look here, is the CT sides in here generally faltered, except for Skyred, which had a really good CT side first buy rounds. Again, Hellraisers is the best of the crop here, so probably the best team that didn't qualify. Now we're going to look at the conversion rates. So this is if they won the pistol round, what are their chances of winning the second round? And this is the top teams that qualified. Cloud9, 100% both. CLG, pretty good. Mousesports, good. Titan, good. Dignitas, decent. Flipside, good. Team Liquid, decent. And Vex Gaming, good. So this is something you can see why these teams were the top, is that they almost got 100% chance of winning that second round if they win that pistol round on both sides. CLG, they faltered a couple on their T side, same with Dignitas, and Liquid faltered a couple on their CT side. Now we look at the teams that didn't qualify. So Immunity was up there with the tops. Copenhagen Wolves faltered on both. Renegades faltered on their CT side. Hellraisers faltered on both. Rocat faltered on all of it. Lounge Gaming was up there with the top. Winter Fox failed at T side. Skyrim was up there with the top. So some data can come from here as why these teams didn't work so well. So Hellraisers, even though they were probably the best team that didn't qualify, they weren't very good at converting those pistol rounds. So Copenhagen Wolves were the same. They weren't very good at converting those pistol rounds into that second round win. Their anti-ecos don't seem to be very good comparative to the other teams. So winning rate of the second round after a pistol round loss, so this will be a forced buy round for the top teams. Cloud9, 100%. That is unusual. CLG, Mouse Sports and Titan, 0% or not applicable. Dignitas, 25%, decent. Flipside, a really good CT side. Liquid were good T side, and Vex Gaming were really good CT side and decent T side. So the average percentage, which we'll see later, of the pistol round losses and then a second round win by the other team is around 10 to 20%. So Dignitas, Flipside, Liquid and Vex all did really well, and Cloud9 did superior. Of the teams that didn't qualify, Immunity did well. Copenhagen Wolves, 0 or not applicable. Renegades did alright on their T side only. Hellraisers, Rocat, none. Lounge Gaming did alright on their T side, and Winterfox and Skyroad, none. So compare this to the graph beforehand, you can see why those teams were the top. Is they managed to get a lot of those force buy or eco round in the second rounds. Even if they did lose the pistol, they managed to grab the momentum and win the game based on that. So we're going to look at the overall conversion rates here. So CT conversion, it was about 85%, and T conversion is about 90%. So the T pistols here are shown to be better than the CT pistols against those second rounds. However, it's still between 10 and 20%, which is probably within acceptable levels. It's not something crazy like the Armortech 9 wins 50% of the time. Overall conversion rates of pistol round wins to a buy round win. So this is, if you win the pistol, what are your chances of winning that first buy round? This is interesting to look at because it's so close. CT, if you win the CT pistol round, it's 50-50 whether you're in the buy round. What's interesting to note is, if you win the T pistol round, you actually have a less chance of winning that T buy round. Now this could suggest that people don't upgrade from their SMGs hard enough. People maybe forget a few nades. Maybe the eco rounds were too strong and you limited their economy too much. But it's an interesting thing to take note of. Now chance of winning, we're going to go to chance of winning games. So chance of winning game based on the starting side. Inferno, it was completely even, didn't matter which side you started on. Mirage, you're better off starting on the CT side. Dust 2 is pretty even. Overpass T side. Cobblestone CT side. Cache T side. And Train T side. Overall, it was pretty even, with oddly enough starting on the unfavored side more favored. Or starting on the T side, in general, more favored. So this is an interesting thing to take note of, that if you win the knife round, perhaps you should start on the unfavored side. You're actually more favored to win the game if that happens. Based on pistol round wins, so chance of winning the game. Inferno, really good if you win that second pistol round win. Mirage is really good if you win both. Dust 2 if you win both. Overpass if you win both. Cobblestone if you win both. Cache the second round again. And Train, interestingly enough, it's a bit of a mixed bag there. So overall, you have an 85% chance of winning the game if you win both pistol rounds. And you have about a 15% chance if you don't win any. So those pistol rounds do come in quite useful if you can grab them. What is interesting to note that you're more likely to win the game if you win the second pistol round rather than the first pistol round if you can only win one. This suggests that if you win that second one, you get that momentum and you can carry that to victory rather than having to rely on the momentum you got in the first half. Now we're going to talk about the first buy rounds. So, Inferno, if you win both, you're actually not likely to win. Mirage, it's a bit iffy. Dust 2, win both, you're more likely to win. Cobblestone, if you win both, you're more likely to win. Same with Cache, and Train, it's not there either. This one was a lot more even. So if you win both buy rounds, you're only like 52% chance of winning the game. Compared to winning none, which is 48. So that's pretty even. That first buy round isn't as momentum shifting or as grabbing the next couple of rounds is as the pistol round is, which is interesting to notice. Comparing this to the pistol round wins, again that second round, buy round, is much more important than the first one. This is probably due to the momentum shift during the game. Winning that second buy round, you can then shut them out, or you can take over the map and run their momentum into the ground. Now we're going to look at the teams. So Cloud9 did a lot better starting on the T side, same as CLG. Mousesports, it was pretty even. Titan, starting on the CT side, was better for them. Dignitas, it was pretty even. Flipside, CT side was better for them. Liquid, T side. And Vex, it was even. So interesting to note here, this is winning the game based on which side they start on. Some of the more T-sided teams, such as Flipside here, were better off starting on their least favored side. So this could tie into winning those second rounds, that if you can be better off winning the other half next couple of rounds, you can get the momentum even if you're a lot further down. Another thing to notice is the unfavored again shows up a lot more. So if you start on the unfavored side, you're more likely to win rather than starting on the favored side. Now if we look at the teams that didn't qualify, this will be a bit interesting because a lot of these teams didn't win a round. So they'll be at 0. So another thing to notice here is that it's a lot more even here, with unfavored being a lot less favored. So if you're the underdog, perhaps maybe it's better to start on the favored side, with Hellraisers winning more on the favored, Renegades winning more on the favored. Immunity is being more like the guys at the top, winning more on the unfavored. And Lounge Gaming were a lot better when they started on their T side rather than starting on the CT side. Rocat, Winterfox, and Skyro didn't win a game. Chance of winning based on a pistol round win. So these guys for the teams that qualified. Cloud9 win both pistol rounds, win the game. Same with CLG. Same with Mousesports. Titan is winning the second one is better. Dignitas winning the second one is better. Flipside win both, win game. Liquid win the second one, win game. Vex win both, win game. Or win the second one, win game. So I think to notice here is that Dignitas perhaps struggle more with the buy rounds than with the pistol rounds. So when they win both pistol rounds, they still can't close out the game. Maybe that's a choking factor. Maybe it's we're up ahead and then they kind of relax a bit when they win both pistol rounds. Maybe they're better off being the underdog. As you can see, when they win no pistol rounds, they actually have a higher chance of winning the game. That's something interesting to notice. And again, the second pistol round shows its head more than the first one does. If we look at the teams that didn't qualify, Immunity were good when they won both pistol rounds. Copenhagen Wolves was good. Renegades was good. Hellraisers was good. Rocat didn't win a game, and Lounge Gaming was good. So, the teams that didn't qualify, if they won both pistol rounds, they still won the game. So that's something to take note, that they can close that game out. And again, the second pistol round shows its head again. Interesting to note here is that if any of these teams didn't win a pistol round, they immediately lost the game. So chance of winning based on first buy round for the teams that qualified. Cloud9, both. CLG, none. Mousesports, both. Titan, none. Dignitas, first one, which is interesting. Flipside, both. Team Liquid, both. Vex Gaming, second one. So a thing to note here, Cloud9, if they win the both first buy rounds, they'll close out the map. If they win the first one, they'll close out the map, which is a bit bucking the trend. CLG is completely the opposite. They don't even need to win both first buy rounds. They will win no buy rounds and still close out the map. Mousesports would be the same as Cloud9. Titan, even if they don't win both first buy rounds, they can still close out the map relatively easily. If they win the first one, it's better than winning the second one for them. Dignitas is better winning the first one than winning both, and better winning none than winning both. So this goes the same as their pistol rounds. Flipside, if they win both, they'll win the game. If they win the second one, they have a high chance of winning the game. But they can't seem to win if they lose both first buy rounds, which is interesting. Team Liquid is standard. Vex Gaming, if they win both, they still can't seem to win all of their games. So that suggests that they might have a bit of a problem, same as Dignitas. We look at the teams that didn't qualify. Immunity managed to win even if they didn't win any buy rounds. Copenhagen Wolves was 50-50. Renegades was better when they won the second buy round. Hellraisers, if they won both, they won the game. And Lounge Gaming were good when they didn't win any buy rounds. So with Immunity and Lounge Gaming here, it suggests that they don't even need to win both buy rounds. Their buy rounds or their pistol rounds are so good that they'll come back and still be able to win. However, if they do win a buy round, maybe that up ahead, people don't take them as lightly as they would if they didn't win, and so they struggle a lot harder. Renegades here was a bit interesting. When they won both buy rounds, they still only had a 50% chance of winning the game, so that suggests maybe they're not taking their opponents as hard as they should, or maybe they're getting overconfident, or maybe they're just not very good on those buy rounds. They can just get quite a few of them. Hellraisers managed to be same as the teams that did qualify, winning the game if they won the both buy rounds. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time.